There are more than 7 billion people on our planet. A rising 80% of the world population has access to power to sustain their way of life. We depend on energy for clean water, to light our homes, and to provide a comfortable standard of living. As the population expands and climate change becomes an indisputable fact, the need for intelligent use of intermittent renewable power is growing exponentially. To meet this demand, energy systems are modernizing and integrating decentralized clean energy producers into traditional power systems and markets. This new model relies on local information, demand and supply forecasting, and new assets that store, give back, or consume locally generated power. This requires new thinking. The key to a new energy world is leveraging trustworthy and transparent data deriving from all connected assets and systems, including power generation, consumption, and storage. To see it in action, let's visit duplex owners Sarah and Dan Smith and their tenant Joe. As first-time homeowners and parents, the Smiths are cost-conscious. They realized they could greatly reduce their utility bill and even earn additional revenue by installing an innovative smart energy solar power system and becoming a local energy producer. They feel good about minimizing their family's carbon footprint and doing their part to mitigate climate change. When considering solutions, Sarah and Dan looked for a flexible model allowing for system evolution and the addition of new equipment over time without being locked into a specific vendor or service infrastructure. They selected an energy management platform with a trusted IoT gateway at its center that would securely collect and process data from their solar panels into a specific vendor or service provider infrastructure. Both the Smiths and the grid operators demand high-level security to protect energy data and connected assets. In fact, the data generated and managed by the gateway is the basis for all financial transactions in the energy ecosystem. The system selected delivers complete transparency while allowing Sarah and Dan to determine who is authorized to see and use their data, as well as who is entitled to remotely access device functionalities. Each person or system that uses the data from private users need to be authorized through provisioning and authentication services. The Smiths can add new stakeholders by simply authorizing new credentials for system access. Sarah can see at a glance how much power was generated and used, and the associated value. She sees exactly how much she sold into the virtual power plant. If she ever needs additional power, the system automatically manages efficient load shifting and selects the most cost-effective, renewable power instead of expensive energy from fossil resources. The virtual plant thrives on an Uberized operational model that aggregates surplus energy, creating a large and marketable power source, much like a traditional bulk power plant. Power is then redistributed to places with greater energy demand than supply. The Smiths are thrilled with their personal virtual power plant. It was a sunny year, and their return on investment was even better than anticipated. Uberization also allows the Smiths' tenant Joe to share in the benefits of surplus solar power without going through a centralized energy office and with almost zero transactional costs. Joe simply talks to the Smiths and receives immediate approval to purchase 30% of all solar energy generated. This covers 60% of his overall consumption and greatly reduces his energy bill. The model allows unprecedented speed of access based on non-discriminatory consumer consent and can still purchase energy from other sources when needed. The solution confirms that Joe is keeping up his end of the bargain using the promised system capacity. It also keeps Joe's specific consumption details private. End-to-end security architecture defends against cyber attack and prevents connected assets from becoming an open door to hackers. Everyone can rest easy knowing they are protected against attacks that could force them into emergency mode, necessitating the purchase of expensive power from the grid. The vision of a new world of sustainable energy is already becoming a reality. As stewards for a responsible society, we can significantly reduce use of fossil fuels by adopting new business models that put decentralized power and the end user at the core. A better world is before us. Trust is the foundation of it all and the key to a brighter future.